Everyone, happy Monday. I hope you guys had a wonderful weekend and are gearing up for another great week. And I am here to read you a book and show you a very quick and easy craft that you can do with your kiddos. I am going to read you one of my favorite books. I still remember the day I got this book. It was probably over 12 years ago. I got it at the zoo one day when my husband and I went there. And it is called Wild About Books. Look at all those fun animals. Look at them all. What animals do you see on the cover of this book, kiddos? What do you see? I see a zebra. I see a bear. I think I see the trunk of an elephant. I think I see a monkey popping up there. I wonder what animals and books have to do with one another. Let's find out. Oh, what's this? Look at that. It says Public Library Bookmobile. We used to have one of those. It sat out back behind our library. It didn't quite look like that, but look, and here she is. She's driving into the zoo. Oh, Wild About Books. It started the summer of 2002 when the Springfield librarian, Molly McGrew, by mistake drove her bookmobile into the zoo. Molly opened the door and she leapt down the stair, turned on the computer, and sat in her chair. First, all the animals watched from a distance. But Molly could conquer the strongest resistance. Can you show your muscles? Do you have strong resistance there? Look at Molly. She's all set up and ready to go. Look at that. Look at all those animals peeking out. They're like, what is she doing? I see a flamingo, a giraffe. Look at that bear. He's really peeking around that bookmobile. There's a turtle slowly coming up, some antelope. By reading aloud from the good Dr. Seuss, she quickly attracted a mink and a moose, a wombat, an oryx, a lemur, a lynx, 8 elephant calves, and a family of skinks. Look at them all coming to see and hear what she is reading. Do you think these animals look like they do in real life? That's a good question, isn't it? I don't think I've ever seen blue elephants. In a flash, every beast in the zoo was stampeding to learn all about this new something called reading. Look at all those animals on their way to hear Molly McGrew read. Do you guys ever read to the animals in your house? Whether they be real or stuffed animals? Forsaking their niches, their nests, and their nooks, they went wild, simply wild, about wonderful books. Crossing thin books and fat books and cat in the hat books. And new books and true books and heaps of how-to books. And that word was choosing, not crossing. I'm not sure why I said that. Look, they're down here reading Peter Pan. The monkeys are reading a banana cookbook. What do you think the elephant's reading? Dumbo. Giraffes wanted tall books, and crickets craved small books. while geckos could only read stick-to-the-wall books. Pandas demanded more books in Chinese. Molly filled their requests, always eager to please. She even found waterproof books for the otter, who never went swimming without Harry Potter. Look at that. She's got waterproof Harry Potter books for them. And there's an alligator reading a counting fish book. Raccoons read alone and baboons read in bunches. Look at that. There's raccoons reading alone. This one's learning about trash. This one is reading about garbage trips. This one is this cherry orchard, or the cherry orchard. So raccoons read alone and baboons read in bunches, and llamas read dramas while eating their lunches. The grass menagerie. Hyenas shared jokes with the red-bellied snakes, and they howled and they hissed till their funny bones ached. Do you guys like to tell jokes to each other? Oh, jokes are funny. A tree kangaroo who adored Nancy Drew began solving mysteries right there at the zoo, such as, why were the bandicoots books overdue? I wonder why. Wonder why. Gently, Molly taught lessons in treating books right. For the boa constrictor teased Critter too tight. Look at that. Should you squeeze a book like that? It's not very nice to the book, is it? Baby bunnies mucked up Goodnight Moon with their paws. Uh-oh. Probably not good to eat messy foods while reading a book. Or take a book into the mud. Baby bunnies mucked up Goodnight Moon with their paws. Giant termites devoured the Wizard of Oz. I don't think you're supposed to actually eat a book. When somebody says they devoured a book, do you think that's what they mean? I don't think that's what they mean. And Bear's love of books was completely outrageous. They licked all the pictures right off of the pages. I don't think you're supposed to lick the books either. Silly bears. Tasmanian devils found books so exciting that soon they had given up fighting for writing. They made up adventures so thrilling and new that others decided to be authors too. Pythons wrote with their tails, penguins wrote with their bills, and porcupines wrote with their very own quills. So, if you were to write with your own books, write your own books, what would you write with? Would you write with your tail? I don't have one. Would you write with your nose or a bill like a penguin? Would you write with your toes? Could try that. Might be a little sloppy. I think I'd probably use my fingers on my hand. At the new insect zoo, bugs were scribbling haiku. The scorpion gave each a stinging review. Here's the walking stick. A cannibal twig silently devours a leaf, eating, not eaten. Pretentious. The dung beetle wrote, roll a ball of dung. Any kind of poo will do. Baby beetle bed. And here's what the scorpion has to say about that. Stinks. And the millipede wrote, I dig for treasure in my enchanted castle. A rotten apple. And here's what the scorpion has to say about that. Boring. The giant hissing cockroach wrote, hiss, 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 hiss. Hiss, 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 hiss. Hiss, 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 hiss. And the scorpion says, redundant. As the cheetah's new novel began taking shape, he read chapters each night to the Barbary ape. And although the gazelle couldn't spell very well, like everyone else, she had stories to tell. Imagine the hippo's enormous surprise when her memoir was given the Zulitzer Prize. Look at that big old hippo smile. Can you give your biggest hippo smile right now? I hope you all are giving your biggest hippo smile. What are they doing? What are they doing right now? Look at that. Look at that. With so many new books, Molly knew what to do. She hired 12 beavers, a stork, and a gnu to build a branch library there at the zoo. Then the animals cried, we can do it ourselves. We can check the books out. We can put them on shelves. And they did, and they do, up to this very day. 3 cheers for the Zoobrary. Hip, hip, hooray! Look at that. Do you think you could carry stacks of books like Molly McGrew is right there? Oh my goodness, she has to be pretty strong, don't you think? When you visit the zoo now, you surely won't mind if the animals seem just a bit hard to find. They are snug in their niches, my goodness, their nests and their nooks, going wild, simply wild, about wonderful books. What do you think you would do if you showed up at the zoo and that's what the animals were doing? Would you be surprised that the animals were reading books if you showed up at the zoo? I would be pretty surprised. So today, since we read a book about animals reading and making their own books, I thought that I would tell you how you could make your own book at home. It's very simple, and all you need is some paper. You can take just plain white paper, or you can take construction paper, any type of paper that you have, and you're just going to fold it in half. I just took a few sheets of paper. I think I have maybe 4 or 5 here. You can do as many or as few as you want. And I'm going to fold it as close as I can to perfect. And you're going to crease it. There you go. I have my book. There's a couple different ways you can do this. If you want to have a special cover, you can take a piece of construction paper and then you can fold that in half, and that will give me a special cover and a back cover. And then you just slide that right in, like so. So then when you open it, you have that on the inside. And you want to kind of center it. So it's kind of like, show them in the camera there. There you go. Kind of like that. So you can either staple it, or you could use a hole puncher. or a hole punch, whatever you want to call it. And you can do one, I'm not even up there. You could do like 1, 2, 3. You could do 1, 2. You could do that however you want. I'm going to staple mine. I was going to do hole punches, but I think I'm going to staple it. Because I think it's a little thick for my hole punch to go through, to be quite honest. My hole punch is pretty old, so it's not super sharp. I've learned over the years that the older your hole punch is, the less it works going through lots of pieces of paper. My paper's not very centered, and I'm a little particular. Kids are less particular than adults, I have learned also over the years. Kids don't care where the paper is. Adults care more. So I'm just going to put a few staples in here. We have one. I'm going to do one in the center. They also don't care where the staples are, and that staple didn't go in very well. It's actually, not only is it crooked, but it's also not in. But I'm going to show it to you anyway. So you see I just put the staples in right there. And then the kids can decorate the cover. And they can write their story, or it can be a journal. It could be a sketchbook. It can be whatever they or you want it to be. So there you go. There's how to create a book. And like I said, they can make it into whatever they want it to be. It could be, you could turn it into daily scavenger hunts. If you want something creative to do, you could make it into that. You could have them look for different things throughout the day. So I even cut ribbon because I was going to make it into something, or make it into a tie one. Found some old ribbon my mom had given me at some point that I was going to tie it with. Anyway, so yeah, you could do whatever you wanted with the book. They could create something fun out of it. Something memorabilia-wise from this time they're sort of locked up, so to speak. So there's an idea. But I hope you guys are having a fantabulous Monday. It's a little chilly out this week, unfortunately, but hopefully you are still able to get outside. And I will post more videos this week for you. So I will see you later. Have a great day.